Hi everyone, welcome to our Econ podcast. So today we'll be talking about high inflation rates in PNG. And a brief of the show. This show is basically about young economists discussing about current economic issues in PNG. My three special guests today are...
Hi.
Thank you for that. Now, let me first briefly define what inflation is. Inflation is the rate of the increase in prices over a given period of time. This is typically a broad measure, and this affects mostly the cost of living in a country. So, to start off, in PNG, consumer price inflation has averaged to about 5.1% in the last 10 years, leading up to 2022, which has also risen to about 5.3%. So, now that I've explained that, this moves on to my first question to our first speaker. Could you please explain the causes of inflation rate in PNG?
Hi everyone, I'm Bachiba, your first speaker. Thank you, Franny, for the wonderful question. Like you've mentioned from the statistics, that our country's inflation rate has increased from 5.1% to just like over 10 years time, it just went up to 5.3%. Now, inflation, like the causes varies, but there are like three main causes that I'm going to elaborate on, share to you guys. That's demand pull inflation. This occurs when demand for goods and services exceeds the supply. This can happen in growing where consumers have more disposable income. So like an example for demand pull inflation could be when consumers have more to buy in like a market. So then the businesses, they're like profit driven, so obviously they will raise their prices, hence inflation just pops in. So another point would be cost push inflation. This results from an increase in the cost of production, like such as rising wages of raw materials. Leading businesses could increase their cost of production, which then like other businesses would want to, follow that trend that basically affects the consumers. So it leads to inflation in that way too. Another point would be built-in inflation. This happens when businesses like their workers, they expect prices, their wage to rise. They demand for an increase in wage because of the businesses, like if, for an example, we could say like when in built-in inflation, if there's an increase in transportation costs, then team members may demand an increase in their wage. So that just, leads to inflation, and that's it. Yeah, thank you, that's all.
Thank you very much for answering my question. I feel like the audience today have learned quite a lot from just your response. So as citizens of this country, we should be informed and aware of what is happening in our economy, and also as young future economists, knowing the causes of inflation will help us find better solutions. So speaking of which, now before I move on to my second question, we'll have a short session and it's called the Joker Time.
Okay, so guys, I'll go first. So I do not usually brag about my expensive trips, but I just got back from the grocery store.
Because of inflation. Because of inflation and then okay. I've got one. Why did the snacks biscuit refuse to share its crumbs? Because with inflation, even crumbs are a luxury.
Oh,
okay.
Oh wait, I have one. Why did the Kina fail the economic test? Because it couldn't keep up with all the rising prices. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Back to the host.
Thank you. Moving on to our second speaker, could you please state some solutions for inflation?
Thank you, Francisca, for the question. I feel as in economics, we are obligated to find solutions for the high inflation rate, but I will be only stating 4 solutions. So the first one is public awareness campaigns. So educating consumers about inflation and our financial literacy can help them make informed decisions which can decrease inflation. The second one is boosting agricultural production. Since PNG relies heavily on agriculture, increasing local food production can help reduce prices and ensure food security. Investing in agricultural technology. The third one is monetary policy adjustments. So the central bank could consider adjusting the interest rates to manage inflation. The last one is fiscal policy reforms. So the government could review their spending to ensure policies support economic stability without excessive borrowing from other countries like Australia.
Wow, thank you so much. I feel like the solutions you've mentioned have really helped us a lot. So as an economist, it's good to know that we are able to come up with solutions to just save our country. So we will take a little for now, and I feel like we need another break, do we?
Yes.
Okay, another round of Joker time, please.
Okay, it's my time since the last time. Okay. What did PNG economists say at the market? Prices are going up, but so is my sense of humor.
Okay. Okay, that's a good one.
Anyways, that was just a short time. Moving on. Sorry, my last question for today is, to our last speaker, of course, what is the government about PNG doing about inflation rate?
Hi, I'm Lydia. So that's a good question, Franny. So the last I checked, our Prime Minister James Marape stated on PNG News on Wednesday around August 2022 that our national government earlier introduced about 611 million kina assistance package, which included 10% GST, to cut to specific goods. So specific goods, I mean the basic ones like rice, fuel, tin fish, etc. So yeah. So the main aim of this assistance was to subsidize the increasing prices of basic goods and services in our country. So, however, our bank said the country is currently facing imported inflation due to the Russian and Ukraine war. So yeah. So as you can see, our country is struggling to get itself out of inflation caused. Out of inflation. So let us check out other countries to see how they do not have inflation. So one good example would be China. So basically, China controls the inflation by changes made to subsidies and other price control measures to check inflation. So by doing this, the GDP growth has averaged over 9% a year and has lifted many of the citizens out of poverty. So China has a very low inflation rate because their government has more control over them. And yes, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really smart idea on you comparing our country to another. So this has really helped us a lot, the whole talk back. And I guess time has really caught up with us. So thank you everyone. Thank you audience. Thank you speakers.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Anyways, to conclude, our country is facing inflation, but together, if we work collaboratively, we will definitely be able to decrease the inflation rate in PNG. And that's all from us. Bye.
Bye.